Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the market close. We've got a green day on the market as we move over the hump day, although this hump day shifted a little bit towards the end of the week because Thursday, tomorrow, is the end of the market week this week because we got ourselves a big old holiday on the weekend, Easter. So Good Friday markets will be closed, of course. Now, in regards to tomorrow's show, let's figure this all out. We're going to have a show tomorrow one way or another. One way or another. There's two options. If we get 4 supers today or 4 gifted subs or a combination, that is one way to get the show for tomorrow. If that does not happen, well, we've got the bingo win. We've got the bingo win. So that bingo has put in an extra show. So we can use that tomorrow if we don't get that. So one way or the other, we will be finishing out the week. And gosh, what an exciting day. This is a pretty exciting day. We're hours away from a launch as in a Canadian heading to the moon. We're going to do a nice big orbit around the moon. And in fact, this orbit's going to take them the furthest away from the Earth a person has ever been. So that's kind of cool. And it's not, and it's a very interesting crew. You got the first Canadian going way out there. You've got the first woman going out there. The first black guy going out there. So it's pretty cool. I like it. Now, if this mission is successful, of course, it lays the ground for Artemis 3. Now, Artemis 3, so this is Artemis 2. Artemis 3, they're going to do some docking maneuvers, and, you know, it's not going to the moon, but it's going to do some docking maneuvers just to sort of make sure everything is working that way. But I believe the next Artemis after that, I think Artemis 4 is the one that's going to actually land on the moon. And that... it is before 2030. I think it's going to be 2028 or something like that. Anyway, it's all very cool. Now, continuing with space news, today a couple of sources have said that SpaceX has moved forward to apply for an IPO. It's a confidential application, so it was sent to the SEC. Could it be? Could it be false news? Yeah, it could be. But we're talking Reuters, the Globe, Wall Street Journal, a few others, really big names in the news industry. I think it's actually legit. And if that does go ahead, we're talking about a massive IPO, and we could be able to buy SpaceX shares as early as June or possibly July. So that's kind of cool. All right. Of course, we still have a war going on. One of the big market drivers today is people are thinking, okay, it sounds like we're going to get some peace. Although, I got to say, the whole hint of a ceasefire that Donald Trump has sort of laid the grounds for, Iran is saying we don't know anything about it. So, once again, it seems to be a one-sided negotiation for a peace treaty, but investors are eating it up. Hope is swelling. Guys, could this be a hope bubble? Could we see on Monday a big pop? Especially, and here's a thought I had. If I was planning a ground assault over the weekend, why not inflate a hope bubble? You know, make Iran think I'm trying to find a way out of this, and then come in with a ground assault. So that's one option. I hope I'm wrong, but it's a thought that came. It's a thought I had, but I definitely hope I'm wrong about that. So we can talk about all of that, of course, today. We are also beginning of a brand new month, and you notice I'm not wearing a green Santa hat. That's because we did finish well into the red last month. So today, everybody's in the green for now. That may change pretty darn fast. So let's you know what? Let's just jump into the charts. We're going to start right away here with the TSX. So here is our brand new blue line. We are above it. We're on the green side. So yeah, this line is where last month ended. And as long as we stay above it, we have a green month. I have a feeling we will definitely take some plunging below. And Paul yesterday said, well, what about the old blue line? Can you leave it up there? So it's right there. So this sort of shows us, this is the drop we made. So even though we want to be on the green side, you know what I'd like to see? And we'll continue, we'll stretch this forward a bit. I'll stretch this forward as I go. I'd love to see us to get above that blue line. So this is the dream. But honestly, I think the volatility is going to continue unless we get a real piece. Unless we get a real piece. So what can I say? Oh boy. it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But on the bright side, pretty much today, most stuff up other than oil. Oil, of course, as people are getting this, as this hope bubble inflates, the price of oil starts coming down a wee bit. That's fantastic. I don't know if that's gonna. Problem is all of these short bursts of hope, they're not long enough to really impact the price at the pump. So you may not see any relief anytime soon, guys, unfortunately. All right, so the TSX currently up 0.48. The S&P 500 heading south of the border. Same story, but they're actually up a little more. They're up 0.85. So that's not too shabby, not too shabby. The NASDAQ, they're up a full 1.23. So it looks like tech had another pretty good day. Our Dow Jones Industrial also up 0.67. And the little guys, the Russell, up 0.47. Everybody's above the blue line. That's a great way to start the month. I don't know if we can. I think there's a chance we could have another green day tomorrow. So we may have this. This may be a green week. But all bets are off for next week. All bets are off, especially if a ground war happens to break out, or a ground assault, I guess we'll call it. If it breaks out on the weekend, we could certainly be back in red territory pretty darn fast. All right. And I mentioned commodities. Commodities are looking pretty good. Like, look at this. Gold up today, 2.21%. Silver, it's a little bit more modest, 0.63. But silver had a really big day yesterday. Copper up 0.7, and platinum kind of flat. And here is oil. I mentioned oil's down. So as you can see, WTI is down almost 3%. Actually, they're both pretty much down 3%. We're talking fractions of a fraction difference. So oil retracing a little bit. So Brent back down to 103. That's a good spot for you, Brent. Stay around there. WTI trading at $94. So both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, Bitcoin a little on the flat side. Ethereum is pumping a little bit, up at 1.69. Okay, heading to our heat maps. We got, we'll start with Canada. We'll start with the TSX. As you can see, mostly a lot of green and a good amount of red. So green-wise, now the banks are all doing okay. BMO up 1.07. Royal Bank's up a little bit. CIBC 1.3, so not too shabby. TD up 1.17. National Bank up a full 2%. Our minerals, our materials, all doing pretty darn good. So we're talking a Barrick Gold up 2.90. Wheat and precious metals is up. So what can I say? Looking at energy, though. Oil, of course, yeah, oil is down. Oil is absolutely down. CNQ down today, 4.89%. Pretty much everybody is down. Even our pipelines having a little bit of a difficulty today. So Enbridge down 1.31. Pamina, oh boy, they're down 2.55. Railroad-wise, CNR up, CP down, but not by a lot. Not by a lot. Shopify still down today, 0.36. They were, yesterday actually was not a bad day. They were in the green yesterday. So I like it. I like it. Celestica up 2.57. Heading to the U.S. A lot less red. U.S. pretty strong day. Nvidia up a full percent. Apple up 0.89. Of course, today is Apple's big announcement. I did not hear it. I've been so busy today. I completely missed Apple's announcement. So we'll take a look at that together. We'll take a look and see what the heck that is. And I got a funny story too that I'll tell you guys in a bit. Google up 2.95. Microsoft though is down a little bit. Tesla up 2.39. So, a lot of excitement in the Tesla sphere, especially when you start looking at SpaceX and that potential IPO. So that's kind of cool. Heading over to crypto, it is a green day. It's a green day. I know that when we looked at Bitcoin a moment ago, it was down a tiny bit, but for the most part, it's a green day. So we're going to, for our crap coin of the day, let's pick a red coin. Let's go in here. We're going to go in deep. We're going to go in very, very deep. Let's go deep. Okay. You know what? Let's just grab the very... Oh, it just turned green. I was about to grab it and it turned green. Let's grab this one right here. All right, here we go. And I'm going to move my head into the middle. Sometimes when I want to come up with an improv joke, some altcoins make it very easy. We've got Scotty Beam. So yeah, this is one I'm not going to beam up to my portfolio. I don't know what this one is about. Well, it's a meme coin. There's no 100%. You got an animal wearing a sort of a red a red uniform, kind of like Mr. Scott on a certain Star Trek show. So Scotty Beam, bit of a meme coin. If you're a diehard Star Trek fan, maybe you might want to hold a couple of these, but don't hold them if you're expecting to make money. This is one where you'll get lost in the transporter beam for sure. So yeah, I call this a crap coin because it is like going to the casino, going to your craps table, throwing your dice. You're not gonna win. The house tends to win. So let's just say this is not one for your portfolios, guys. It's a little out there for sure. So there is money to be made in Bitcoin. In crypto, it's with the larger coins. We're talking your Bitcoins, your Ethereums, not your ads. Your XRP, Solana, Cardano, and gosh darn it, the Dogecoin. All right, now I think we've caught up. Let's park ourselves here on, not the S&P, we'll park ourselves on the TSX. We'll come big screen. We'll see how long that lasts. And let's hit the chat. Stan is in the house first. Happy Wednesday, all. Hello, Stan. Good to see you. Samantha is in with a good afternoon, all. And hello, Samantha. Samantha, you will not be surprised to know that last night's office hours got copyright claimed by two. Not once, twice. Oh, boy. Let's see. Samantha continues. We definitely need a show tomorrow. Who knows what Trump will talk about in his press conference today? Will it move the markets? Yeah. I would hope that, I don't know what time his press conference is, but if his press conference is after the launch, I would hope it would be, an inspiring speech, about space, about the moon, about beating China to the moon, some good stuff like that. And not a story about ballrooms or about himself or about crowd sizes. Let's just talk about the moon. That's what I would like, but you're right. Anything could happen. Adore Pat comes in. What happened? All the gains earlier today are almost gone. Yeah, we got a little bit of retracement. I think part of it is Iran coming out and saying, we know nothing about this ceasefire. Kind of, once again, highlighting that Donald Trump seems to be negotiating with himself at the moment. Larry says, sold most things today and got into natural gas on the low. Nice. Yeah, natural gas. Long-term natural gas, there is going to be a supply shock. So yeah, natural gas. I think there's going to be some movement to the upside on that one for sure. Trump's scheduled to poop on the market tomorrow night, just in time for the long weekend. Oh boy. Larry says only holding Doge and Renew. And then, okay, so yeah, it's probably after the launch. I think the launch is around 6:30-ish, and that's Eastern time. Let's see, Paul says good afternoon. Roku, can we buy a show on margin? Yeah, but if there's a margin call, then those those supers will get pretty big. Let's see. Larry says Apache A-10 Warthogs and F-16s are on the way to the Middle East. Possible NATO withdrawal tonight as well. Yeah, there is hint that he is thinking about moving out of NATO. So, no, that's probably not going to be good for the market. So, you never know. We could get, oh boy. I wanted this 1 week, a nice peaceful week before Easter where you could, you could hear the birds singing and the chirping and all of that and green grass. Yeah, no, maybe not. Mark says my ENCL tanked today, but expected. Yeah, absolutely. Anything oil related is definitely going down today. Xenial, I'm not falling for this bull trap. We'll keep dry powder until at least April 6th. Probably the smart move. All right. Scott says hello, everyone. And Joe says hello from Cape Breton. There we go. Another Nova Scotian. I love the Nova Scotians. Yeah, Cape Breton Island. I don't know. If you guys have never been to Cape Breton, you should go. The Cabot Trail, one of the best drives. Although I will tell you a secret. If you're gonna do the Cabot Trail, Joe, I hope you don't run a restaurant on the Cabot Trail. But if you're doing the Cabot Trail, bring some food with you, because there's no competition on the Cabot Trail restaurant-wise. Oh boy, the prices are marked up quite a bit. So, pack some lunches, bring them with you. But definitely do the Cabot Trail if you're ever out east. Yeah, Cape Breton is awesome. Actually, I had an aunt who used to live in Descousse. So it's kind of a little fishing community in Cape Breton. Rory says, hi all, threw some money at HYLD today. Still have cash for major dips. Nice. Wahipple, hey everyone, hey everyone, farm merger vote gets counted tomorrow. Should know the results by the end of the day. Okay, let's see here. Elisa says, hi everyone. Larry, Saudi-backed side moving into Yemen to try to fight the Houthis. Oh boy. Rory, Canoe has to hit 1630 for my next purchase. Good old Canoe. Isaiah, good afternoon. So happy to see EIT Canoe raise their dividend to 11. What? That's got to be an April Fool's joke. All right. I'm calling you out. I got to look. All right. Let's. Yeah, that's got to be April. You're yanking my chain, Isaiah. I know you're yanking my chain, but I'm going anyway. I'm going in anyway. Here we go. Canoe EIT. And let's. Well, first of all, I'm just going to go to the news, because that would be big news for Canoe EIT. So, all right. Yeah, the last thing is they announced their last distribution back on March 5th. So, no, it's not 11 cents. Nice try, though. Actually, I think the only April Fool's joke I've seen today, other than Isaiah, is the Plain Bagel did an April Fool's. He made an April Fool's joke video. I was like, why didn't I think about making an April Fool's joke video? But yeah, it was funny. I watched it about him adopting AI on his channel. So it was cool. Wahipple, I am adding to Peyton with my paycheck tomorrow. Nice. And Mary is in the house with a bunch of thumbs. But Mary, of course, is our official captain of the like button. So if you have not yet, and I'm going to see where we're at, if you've not yet hit that like button, and I can tell right now there's 62 of you in here at this moment, and there's 29 likes. So more than half of you have not hit that button. So just give it a good old click. While you guys are doing that, I do have coffee today. I'm going to enjoy the coffee. That was very good. All right. So yeah, definitely hit that like button. It does help the channel out a ton. We'll take a look a little later. You know, I'm not going to even give a target. We'll just look a little later and we'll see how you guys have done, and then we'll give a target. Rory says, I got a penny. Woot, woot. A penny. Okay, cool. Roku, canoe raised to 11 April Fools. Yeah. You see, I don't know. When I was a kid, I was always told that you can't do April Fool's afternoon on April 1st. So you got up until noon to get your jokes in. Otherwise, you're the fool or something like that. But I don't know. People seem to do it all the day. I had a planned joke for you guys, but OpenAI kind of ruined it when they killed Sora, because I was going to remake all of the videos, all of the goat videos, but with cats as just a joke. But now I don't have it done. They canceled Sora on me, and I legitimately don't have it done. I'm just letting you guys know. Let's see. Scott said, "Is Canoe raising their dividend on an April Fool's joke?" Rory says, "No. It's a joke. It's got to be a joke. You know, because look, well here, I'll just come in. I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe I'm doing this, but let's do it." If we come into their key data, so as you can see here, their next dividend coming out on April 15th is 10 cents. It's already been declared. It has already been declared, and there's no news. There would be big news about that if it actually happened. So I'm calling no on this one. I'm calling a big no. Scott says, I question everything today. Probably a wise thing. Marina, good afternoon, everyone. And Rory says, getting Canoe to add a penny is like pulling teeth with without anesthetic. Anesthetic. There we go. Even ChatGPT laughed at the Canoe news. I know. Rory says 7.5% div is just fine. Absolutely. All right, and guys, we got the Financial Express on board. So we got two options for tomorrow's show. Like I said, either we do the Financial Express. If that happens, that takes care of it, and we still keep our banked show, or we use the banked show. One of the two will happen, but no matter what, we got a show tomorrow. But oh yeah, we'll deal with, yeah. I was gonna say, but what about Monday? That's a tomorrow issue. All right, Marin is in the house with a hello, guys. Have a good afternoon, and don't forget that like button. Good Green Day. It's about time. Let's see. Oh no, it must have been those ducks and monkeys that got us into trouble. Very good guess. That was absolutely yeah. So yeah, the guy who does the duck song, he hit a claim, and the monkeys. And the monkeys. Yeah, you're right. It was both. Rory says, don't ever trust a duck. Eric Nuttall sold all his natural gas. Oh boy, that's a bad move. Let's see. I drove out to the Highlands a few years back. I visited Meat Cove on the Cabot Trail. Meat Cove. I'm not going to say why I emphasized Meat Cove, but there used to be stories about Meat Cove, but I'm not going to tell you what they were. It's a family show. Doorpat says, yes, I loved the Plain Bagel AI. The Plain Bagel AI. Yeah, that was funny. Elaine says, hey, all. And, oh my gosh, I've caught up. Luke says, maybe Trump has a good April 1st joke for us. Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully leaving NATO is his April Fool's joke. But I think, yeah, he's kind of wanted to leave NATO for a bit, guys. So, I don't see it going over very well. So, yeah, what can I say? But yeah. Oh. let me show you guys. I'm gonna pull this over here. All right. This here is my back end, and this here is my where it says ineligible here. I think I actually go up here to actually show you guys. Yeah, so here it is. This is what it looks like. So these are the two, they're claims. So a copyright strike, that's a bad thing. You get 3 of them, your channel's gone. These are just claims. So basically they come in, they're like, we're taking the money for that video because you used our content. So yeah, here we go. So the duck song, they did it, and the bad touch from the Bloodhound Gang. So I think that was those guys that were dressed as monkey that were kind of inappropriate monkeys. Yeah, so both of those claimed last night. So guys, when we have office hours or after office hours, I think I think Mark was sort of suggesting we should call it after office hours, and I kind of think you're right. We didn't talk much about finance last night, guys. We watched some videos. we parts of videos. That's hence the reason we got the claims. Yeah, we just sort of messed around. There was no rhyme or reason. Now next Tuesday we have one open office hours or after office hours every week or every month, and that's this first one. So next Tuesday, everybody can come. We're probably not going to go to the duck song again. But here's the beautiful thing. If these are not monetized. I don't monetize the market, the after hours. So yeah, it's not like they're getting a big chunk of zero. So enjoy your chunk of zero, duck song, and the bad touch. So yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's just drag that back. Scott says, if I adopt AI, can I claim it as a dependent? I wish. I sure wish you could do that. Shane says, I'm curious. Are you watching Artemis 2 rocket launch tonight? I hope to. I hope to be watching it. Yeah, I think so. I think, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Probably. Okay, well, I just got the 1 minute warning. So the market's closing in less than a minute, guys. Sue says, hi, everyone. I mentioned on the 26th of March that I bought INTC CDR at 25.03, sold today at 27.50. Nice little swing. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like it. I like it. Yeah. So, yeah, the markets. One of the things I was certainly happy with is so in regards to swing tradings, I was actually able to get out of a couple of positions today. So that was pretty good. One of them was Air Canada. I actually made a little profit, got out of Air Canada. The other was Google. Finally out of Google. Now I'm still in. Just a second, guys. The bell. I'm still in the bell. All right, market's closed. Oh, I should turn off this alarm. Yeah, I'm still in Ivanhoe, boy. But I did do some pretty good. I made a big. So yesterday I had set a limit order because I wanted to do a step down with Ivanhoe, and it sold. Actually, it sold while we were talking, and this morning it was down. It actually gapped down big time. I was like, whoo, that really lowered my break even on that one. I'm still not close to it, but it feels more doable now. I'll just say that. Oh boy. All right. And yeah, here's the night bought in. So yeah, like I said, we'll have a show tomorrow either way. It's really up to you guys. If you guys want to do the supers, we'll do it that way, or we'll just use the banked show. So that's the nice thing. So every month when we do the bingo, if we get a bingo, we'll get a banked show. So kind of a cool thing. I'm going to get I need a little icon that I can put up in the corner with our bank. We'll have a little bank. We'll put a bank up there. And that would be kind of cool. That'll be cool. I'm going to figure that out. It's, it's what we do for sure. So what can I say? All right. Now, guys, I am wondering, because I'm not seeing any messages coming through. So are we Are you guys typing messages and they're not coming through? Are we? This kind of reminds me of that day that we had the emoticons. The emoticons. So what can I say? Oh, here comes a few. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a slow day. That's fine. Let's see here. A ball says, do people normally do swing trades on non-registered due to tax reasons? Yeah, absolutely. You can do a swing trade in your TFSA, but it's got to be long term. Like, we're talking swing trades that take a long amount of time. So yeah, I don't recommend doing, if you're doing any amount of swing trading, you want to be in a non-registered because, you don't want to get on the CRA's, on their audit list. You certainly don't want to get that, to have that happen. Let's see, Rory. They should rename all the markets to the S&P Trump 500, the Dow Trump Industrial, and the new Trump Stock Exchange while he's in office. Oh my God. It's like he names everything after himself. And that was a funny thing when he threatened to not let the Gordie Howe International Bridge open. I heard many people say they just need to rename it to the International Donald Trump and Gordie Howe International Bridge, and he'd let it open then. So what can I say? Paul says, end of a sexy era at Tesla, can no longer custom order Model S, Model X, only what is left in inventory. Interesting. Yeah, and that's the thing, though. I mean, Elon Musk has been sort of going on now for more than a year that Tesla's not a car company, that they're a robotics and AI company, and that does not surprise me. Other than I think their cars will be a little bit more, well, obviously they're going to push them towards self-driving, so it's almost like I'm going to say they're going to be almost a little bit niche, but we'll have to see where that's going. I can actually foresee a future at one point somewhere down the road that, you driving is pretty much almost a non-starter. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really, really interesting where this is all going. Ball says, yes, government sensitivities. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Nee says, hey, people, don't forget to like the video. Yeah, or the live stream, too. That would be awesome. Hey, niece, how are you doing? How is life in Sweden? Now, I'm curious. Is the Swedish news media, do they make a big deal out of something like this launch tonight, with Artemis 2 heading to do a nice little loop around the moon? Are they, is that big news in Sweden or not? It might just be bigger news in Canada because we got a Canadian in the crew. Larry says, do I need to pay taxes if I move around Canada for a few months? Oh gosh, I don't know. Well, you will pay taxes. Like if you come up into Canada, you buy anything in the store, there's a sales tax. Now, there is a way, actually, I believe there's forms at customs that if you pay a sales tax, I think you can get some of it back at customs. I think you can. So definitely hold your receipts. Let's see. Rory says, I know in the USA you have up to 6 months. Not sure about Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan. Oh boy, could you imagine if that was our country name? Oh. Paul says 1.89% day to day. Only thing down was Harvest, MSTE, and Circle ETFs. Okay. Yeah, MSTE was down a little bit today for sure. Even though Bitcoin, here, let's take a look. Bitcoin is actually, okay, well, they're down right now a little bit, 0.19, but Harvest definitely took a little bit of a hit. A little bit of a hit for sure. All right. Oh, and we have a super sticker, $1 super sticker coming in from Paul. That's enough to get a goat. And it is a goat. It's our evil Monopoly goat. It's not a cat. But imagine this as a cat. That's what we almost had for today. We almost had that as a cat. And I think probably out of all of you, Samantha is the one who is disappointed the most because, she is a big cat fan for sure. One more consolidation day until April 6th. Yeah, we're really close to April 6th. Like, quite literally, what can I say? Chad, Air Canada popped today, almost sold, but like finishing, you need some patience. Hold out for more ROC. Yeah, like Air Canada had a pretty good day. Like here, let's actually take a look, guys. I'm gonna go into the swing list, and yeah, like here, this is Air Canada today. Now I sold a little earlier than I should. I will admit that. Because I was like, let's just sell it in case something goes dire, because I was hoping to see, because Air Canada, like right now, jet fuel's getting incredibly expensive. I've heard stories of airlines running out of jet fuel. So I'm expecting a little bit of a fallback. So I would love to be able to get, like I'm waiting now for Air Canada, at least swing trade wise, to fall back down to anything below 7, anything below 18. So anywhere in the 17s, I think would be a good place to get back in again. All right. But for those of you who did get at a higher amount, hopefully we get up there a little bit so that you can, get a little bit of profit and then maybe reposition yourself if that's what you want to do. All right, let's see here. Samantha says it's true. The cats would have been hilarious, especially as a surprise. Yeah, and it would have been a surprise. I have not done a single joke today. I mean, well, I've told jokes. I tell jokes all the time. But I mean, I've not done a single April Fool's joke at all. Like nothing. So, I must be off my game. I've got to be off my game, guys. I don't know. Next year, I will do something big. I'll think of something. I'll come up with something for sure. Now that the plain bagel has sort of redefined it with a joke video, yeah, I'll do a joke. I'll have to do a joke video next year. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Okay. Oh, I like this. Scott's mentioning, I noticed today that Evolve published the tax breakdown. So return of capital, divs, etc. for 2025. Yes, that's something we should be seeing. Actually, I'm wondering if it's just, let's go, you know what? Let's go take a look, and you know where we're going to go. First of all, I don't want to get out of here. I'm just going to come over here for a second. The Dredge Report. Oh, boy. Anyway, what I want to see is, I know I have, yeah, oh, sorry, no, I didn't want to go to HHIS. I actually wanted to go to HYLD right there. I want to see if Hamilton has their breakdowns. So here's one of these interesting things. So let's see here. I am looking for, oops, nope, that's not what I'm looking for. All right, give me a second here. Normally there's a little thing here. Oops, give me a second. Normally right down here underneath this more. Now, why can't I see that? Why can't I get down? There's normally a tax thing right down below there. Oh gosh. Well, let's see. Is there another way I can get to it? Nope, that's not it. And that's our story. All right, let's see. There's got to be a way to get down there. Let me just see here. Holy cow. Yeah, it's yeah, close. Oh no. Well, that's very unfortunate. Yeah, like right below, see where it says, come on back here. See where it says more? Right below more, that's normally where I find their tax link. Uh-oh. All right, well, you know what? Let's just type in tax. Maybe we can get there another way. Let's see, tax loss switch idea. What's a tax loss switch? Okay, never mind. Yeah, that's not what I was looking for. Tax information. Oh boy. So yeah, it's just, wow, I can't. I think it's because they added some and pushed it below. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I do this. Let me try something. There we go. I shrunk my screen. Whoops. All right. Come on, guys. ETFs. There is tax information. Boom. All right. There we go. Yeah, 2025 is here. So here is our tax information for all of the Hamilton. So if Hamilton and Evolve has it, I bet you everybody has it. Now, why this is important is if you're looking at, and this is really important for HDIV, HYLD, just because they've made some changes, mostly HYLD more than anybody else, because this way here you can sort of get a bit, like here's HDIV. So right here you can sort of see right now, so most of the HDIV, a lot of return of capital in there. And that's fine. That's fine because that's basically, return of capital is a catch-all. So when you have a premium, that premium, they don't know what that is. So that becomes return of capital. So it's not a bad thing. Like there is such thing as bad ROC, but most ROC is just more of a catchphrase. So don't be afraid by ROC. In fact, I got a video all about ROC. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you check it out. But anyway, in this case here, return capital more than 50%, because here is the full distribution: $2.09, well, almost $2.10, $1.58 of that roughly. That's return of capital. So, and then you get about 51% capital gains. So when you're looking at this is very tax efficient. So for one, this amount in here, well, that is not, well, it's not taxable because it's return of capital. So what that ends up doing is the way it works out tax-wise is it lowers your adjusted cost base. So when you sell, if you were to sell your HDIV, or sorry, your HDIV in this case, then you get taxed then. And in this case here, you're only getting taxed on half of it. So when you look at this, I mean, tax-wise, those dividends, very, very little tax that you're actually paying. Other than, you do pay for this here when you sell. So that would be, somewhere's down the road. And HDIV is one of those ones, I like it. I don't think I would, it's one I'll just hold forever, I think, unless something drastically happens to the fund. And then HYLD, and this one's going to be a little bit of a different story. Here we are. So HYLD, well, look at this. The entire thing is return of capital. That's incredible. Part of it is the way they work things out. Like a lot of times these ETFs, they will have deals. They'll have different things that they are, well, in this case here, they'll have different things that they do behind the scenes that kind of prevent you from getting into situations with foreign tax and things like that. So HYLD right here, 100%. Now, I'm wondering if it's because, no, because this would be the tax. I was trying to think if maybe it was because it was a fund to funds, but I don't think so. So there we go. We have the tax information out, guys. I'm loving this. All right. And I've also given you guys a chance to type in a whole bunch of stuff. Chad, got my buddy good today. Got Grok to make an Esso station for fuel for 99.9 cents. Nice. Holy cow. And he says, while Sweden doesn't have the home team fervor that Canada has for Hansen, the mission is still front page news here as a massive feat of international infrastructure and exploration. All right, cool. That's what I was hoping to hear. That's what I wanted to hear. Rory, Petro was at $1.70, so 170.9. Now that's a joke. Yeah. Nice coverage level. High, but differently focused. In Sweden, the mission is reported as a major scientific milestone for humanity's return to the moon, rather than a local patriotic event. Yeah. And interestingly enough, there's actually talk in Canada about creating our own launch pad. And it would be in Nova Scotia. So I don't know exactly where in Nova Scotia they're going to build this thing, but that's going to be kind of cool. It's once again, it's Canada diversifying away from the United States. So we won't have to rely on SpaceX to put our satellites up. We'll be able to do it ourselves. So I like that idea. Luke says, Candace, lots of analysts saying $100 oil has already damaged the economy. War might end, but economic pain will continue. What do you think? More pain coming? I would say yes. I will say yes. So there's been a lot of infrastructure that has been damaged. Oil infrastructure, natural gas, especially when you look at Qatar and their LNG facility. Like, it's going to take them for Qatar to get their LNG production back to where it was, their exports. You're looking 3 to 5 years, or not 3 to 5 years, 2 to 3 years. Sorry, 2 to 3 years for them to get back, to full production. So there's going to be some pain, and the pain's not going away. Now, even if, let's say tomorrow the war ended completely, well, all of these pumping facilities that have been, a lot of them have turned off the pumps because they've got nowhere to put the oil. You've got all of the tankers sort of sitting there not moving. So if you've got nowhere to put the oil, you pretty much have to, at one point, you have to turn off your tanks, your pumps. And, it's not a quick process to turn them back on. So, even if the war ends tomorrow, we're still going to see a big hole in the amount of oil produced. And, this could absolutely drag on a little bit. The price of oil, I have a feeling like the price we had before this all began, I don't anticipate seeing that again anytime soon. Like, not this year, maybe not even next year, maybe somewhere's down the road, maybe 2028, maybe 2029. But yeah, it could absolutely stick on. So there will be some oil-based inflation that's gonna stick around. It's gonna be sticky. And once the markets get used to it, we adapt. That's what markets do. But nonetheless, yeah, it is going to stick around. There is going to be some pain for sure. Larry says that company Trump was mad at for refusing to use their AI for war accidentally had their code released for their AI on the net. Oh, Anthropic. Did they? I missed this. Oh boy. Accidentally. Oh God. That's not good for Anthropic. Now, Anthropic, they are the ones that run Claude. And Claude's a really good AI. So, but yeah, the US, so basically, Claude, well, let's not say Claude, but Anthropic got really upset with the Pentagon for the potential of them using their AI to assist them with killing people. So they said, no, we're not going to remove the guardrails. We don't want you doing that. And the U.S. then threatened them. They threatened to label them as a supply chain threat. Now, this is not something you would ever do to one of your own country's companies. This is something you would do to a foreign country. But by doing that, what it did is it basically means that anybody who wants to use Anthropic who has a government contract, they will lose that contract if they use Anthropic. So it's kind of hurt Anthropic in a big way. And now if this happened, this sounds to me like the government or somebody in the government's getting a little petty over this and releasing some of this code. So, I don't know how much that will damage things because, it'll be interesting to see where this all ends up going for sure. Rory, SO gas at 79.9. Gas war, Habe, not seen any gas wars yet so far. Nice, the Canadian connection. Media outlets like SVT and DN do highlight Jeremy Hansen, specifically noting his historical status as the first non-American to leave low Earth orbit. However, he isn't a household name here like he is in Canada. He's actually not a household name. I think he will be, but right now he, I don't think he is. Before, quite literally, a week ago when they were talking about it, I was like, which one's the Canadian? What's his name? I don't know. So I didn't really know his name until just recently. So, yeah, I think we've got a few. Actually, we probably have one astronaut that's a household name. But yeah, other than that, let's see here. Tell us, Divi today took a quick $100. Okay, cool. Luke says, I'm starting to accumulate REITs. I'm thinking a bruised economy might inspire another Bank of Canada rate cut. Ooh, be careful with that. Luke, because it could go the other way. It could go the other way because, and the Bank of Canada is definitely really, really, really worried about the oil-induced inflation. So if the war continues, I can see rate hikes. And I don't want to say that word. I don't want to say it. But I would be very, very careful because we could see rate hikes. And if that happens, REITs don't like rate hikes. So just be a little careful on that. Paul says BSOL, Bitwise, Solana staking ETF from the USA was up 1.72% today. Only 1.31% of the RIF portfolio. Nice. Scott, REITs in your non-registered is fully taxed as income. No, it is. Absolutely. So REITs don't pay. They're not paying tax on their income because what they're doing is they give away everything they make. They're giving it away, completely untaxed. So that tax, they're basically passing it right on to people who invest in REITs. So if you're holding your REITs in a non-registered, it's 100% taxable, the distributions that you're receiving. So yeah, you definitely want to hold it in a registered account. Otherwise, you are paying a lot of taxes. Let's see, April Fools with the internet and everyone having a phone is useless now. Let's see, Brian says, good afternoon, everyone. I was like number 44. Ooh, let's see how many we've gotten since that moment. And then we'll set a target. Well, yeah, let's do it. We'll set it. I like targets. 47. All right. So guys, obviously 50 is too easy. Let's go for 60 at the moment. So yeah, if you haven't hit that like button, do it now. I'm gonna have some coffee. Okay, there we go. How long was there since I had the coffee? I forgot to turn. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. All right. Yeah. So this, by the way, guys, this is not a super chat. It is a member chat. So members get one of these every month. And Sky, you had to use it on day one to let me. Oh my gosh. But thank you for smart move because I had no clue that that we were all muted. Oh no. Oh no. I that's probably the longest I've ever been muted. Probably the longest. At least it's not a situation where I've been muted for a half an hour. Can you imagine if I'd been muted for a half an hour and you were all still here? I mean, you guys would be troopers for sure, but holy banana bread. All right. All right. Gosh. Now I'm like, what? Oh boy. I'm kind of like, what did you guys miss? What did you miss? Oh boy, you might have missed a little. No, not a lot, because I know I went to get the coffee here when Brian said, good afternoon, I was like number 14. So we were there. Then I went to Roku, and yeah, absolutely, I'm going to try to be more conscientious of when I'm covering up the screen with a comment. And then we went to Isaac. That's where we were at. We were right here. Okay, we didn't miss much. Thank the banana bread gods for sure. So yeah, we got the today I purchased IVN and BYD and sold some AMAT and BDD, which made me go and look at Bird Construction over here. So yeah, Bird Construction, they've been doing fantastic. And as what I was saying, and you guys couldn't hear, is in the last year, they've gone from like, about $19 to $40. So they've doubled. And a lot of that is they know how to navigate government contracts, and they're set to they're gonna definitely be gobbling up some of the infrastructure contracts for sure. So Bird Construction absolutely doing awesome, and they've also got a backlog of people waiting for their services because that's a good place to be for a business. All right. Paul said there was on post saying Carney is removing the industrial carbon tax. Well, I sure hope so. That would be great. Ew, okay, April Fools. Yeah, great. Thanks, Paul. You get me excited for a moment. Oh boy. Yeah, so we are 3 away, and like I said, if we don't, we got the one we banked. So we're still having a show tomorrow. It just determines whether or not we used our banked show. That's cool. Carney didn't condemn the Chinese forced labor bit though. He was very dodgy on that question. Yeah, I saw that question. I saw that because I believe one actually a conservative who crossed over to the Liberals, Ma, I think is his last name. He kind of sort of denied it, and yeah, so there was a little bit of that going on. So. It's I can understand. I mean, I know you're trying to play politics and you're trying to keep everybody happy, but I think he could have been a little more clear on that for sure. Isaac says, how do you track return of capital? Sometimes the price just change, but are not told what happens. Okay, so when it comes to return of capital, you won't have that information until like even right now, what we were looking at on that screen, that's 2005 data. So that does not necessarily mean that that's going to be the same as what 2006 ends up being, but it gives you a general idea. It gives you a ballpark. So you got a rough idea of how the tax has been distributed in the past. But yeah, until you get that tax data, you will not know. So, and you can look at your adjusted cost base and see it adjusts, but sometimes that's not really a reliable way, because depending on your broker, it may get adjusted they may do it once a year, who knows. I would say just know roughly, look at what it did the year before. If it's a newer fund, you got nothing to go on. But look at what it did the year before, and that'll give you a ballpark idea of what it should do. It's not accurate 100%, but it'll give you a ballpark. Rory, St. Paul, Alberta already has a space launch pad. Oh, do they? Oh, nice. I did not know that. I feel like I did. I might have known that. I might have at one point known that. It feels kind of familiar. And a UFO landing pad. That's what I was thinking. You know what? When Rory said that, I was thinking of a UFO landing pad. So there we go. Chat covered talking about HYLD at the bottom of the screen. Yeah. Oh, you couldn't see the whole. Oh, right. I hear you. Yeah. So okay, I'll go back to that. You know what? It's right here. And actually, let me remove Paul. Let me remove Paul. Yeah, so HYLD right here. So basically, and here I'll pull it up higher. So here's HYLD, and as you can see in this case here, they paid out $1.76.8 per unit, and they reported $1.76.8 as return of capital. So right in there. Now, one of the things that when you get to some of the lower ones, if it's really complicated, like look at this S-Max one, you got to scroll back up and see what they are. All up are in here. And you know what I kind of do, guys? I cheat. So if I'm doing this, I will show you. I'm going to show you. I'll show you. Let me show you what I do. So I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to do a Control-Alt-4 so that I can get my my thing. And there, I've just grabbed that. I just did a screenshot of that. And let's say I wanted to know, let's say RMAX. I'm curious about RMAX. I'm going to do another one. Control-Alt-4. I'll grab RMAX, SDAY, and SMAX. We'll just grab these ones. Bang. Then I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go over to the whiteboard. All right. And I'm going to bring them in. This way here, it's an easy way that you can actually, instead of scrolling up and down, try to figure out which one is which. Sorry, I'm just going to go to my uploads. I'm going to upload 2 files. Those are going to be my screenshots I'm going to upload right there, there, and there. Bang, boom. All right. And we'll bring this one in right here. So there we go. And then the ones I'm interested in, I'll bring them in too. Just line them up. And boom, bang, there we go. I've got my title thing. So just a little thought, because you'd be surprised how many people will just go up and down when all you could do is just a simple little thing like this, and you'll get your answers right away. So this way here with RMAX, okay, we got capital gains, we got some other, we got some foreign income, all right, the withholding part, that is what's been withheld on the other side. So you're not paying that, that's already happened. And you got return of capital. So there we go. So this here is showing you everything, and that's all based out of, so if you want to get it into a percentage style, you would basically, this would be your total, and you would, do your division and such, and multiply by 100%, all that fun stuff, with the rest of that, to give you that information. But there you go. A nice, easy way to get that going. All right, now, where the banana bread? Oh, it's because I turned Paul off. I'm looking for Paul. All right, let's see. Rory, yes, they do. All right, the launch pad is already there, I think, in Newfoundland. I'll check. Oh, is there a launch pad in Newfoundland? Huh. I guess that's a great way to, I don't know, get Screech up to the International Space Station. Chad says build a few. Let's say a few pole sheds there back in the day. I wonder how many Trekkie celebs visited Vulcan, Alberta. I'm pretty sure most of them probably have, just for the nostalgia of it. So yeah, if you've never been to Vulcan, Alberta, in the middle of their town, they've got a, what is it? It's like a statue of the USS Enterprise. So they definitely they double down on the Star Trek, and why not? If you're, if they may be the only Vulcan on Earth, who knows? Chad says, haha, live long and prosper. But I will say one thing, Rory. If I was born in Vulcan, I would be telling people that I'm a Vulcan. I would just do it. Rory says Romulan ale sold at the liquor store, I bet. Maybe. All right. Alen says the industrial carbon tax up by 16% today. Experts say it will affect everything from food to gas. I don't like to see that. Yeah, I would love. I like the April Fool's joke of the industrial carbon tax disappearing. And I've already told you guys, I think there's other ways to do it to keep companies responsible. Just set a limit and say, this is as much as you're allowed to pollute. Simple as that. And get rid of carbon credits. Don't be giving credits to other countries. Don't be sort of saying, oh, I've got a business. We produce next to no pollution, so we're going to take our credits and we're going to sell it to that dirty old coal station over there so that they can produce more. Like, don't do that. It's like, just have a firm limit. That's what I think. Niece says, if you need help, Sweden have space range up in northern Sweden to test and send up satellites and so. Nice. Larry says, patiently waiting for the first Doge on the moon. Yeah. Well, there was that day that, Elon Musk had made a tweet one day saying that he was going to put a literal Doge on the literal moon, and then of course Doge went up. That was back when all Elon had to do was say the word Doge and the price would go up. Rory, I have a GIC due in 2 weeks. I'm putting it aside until April 29th Bank of Canada decision. Okay. Yeah. Let's see if if it goes up, and this is kind of the neat thing here, Rory. If it goes up, you'll get a better interest rate. If it doesn't, if they hold steady, you can get in at the same amount you can get in right now. So there's no losing in this scenario, I guess. Paul says drift exploit could be happening. Drift, so major DeFi perp DEX is under active exploit hack. 200 million could already be drained. Deposits and withdrawals now paused while they investigate contain it. Oh, wow. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that, Paul. Oh, boy. Let's see. Sorry, I meant ES range Space Center. Oh, okay. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Let's take a look at this. I just want to see what it looks like. Let's go to Google. ES range. And what is it? Space Center. Oh, and you guys spell it ER. Okay. Let's take a look and see. Yeah, here it is, right here. ES, one of the world's most versatile. Briefly unavailable for scheduled maintenance. Really? Really? The one time in my entire life I decided I want to look at the ES range Space Center, and they have scheduled maintenance. Now, I'm just going to refresh that just in case. There we are. Yeah, all right, allow cookies. All right, and I'll tell you why I refreshed that. Some people will see scheduled maintenance and they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, I'll go away. I'll come back later. I don't, because sometimes websites have a catch-all where if it doesn't load correctly, it just goes to this maintenance thing, because they don't want you to know there's an error. Instead, they want you to think, oh, this is scheduled. Oh, okay, perfect. So yeah, here we are. One of the world's most versatile space centers. Is there some pictures? Yeah, there's a few pictures here. Oh, that's kind of cool. Look at this. I've never seen something blasting off with snow before. I like that. Oh, here's a good picture here. Look at this. Well, that's interesting. But yeah, that's kind of neat. Let's actually open image in new tab. Let's see if we can get a bigger picture of this here. I think I can Command plus it too. There we go. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. We're going to leave that there for a bit. Unless we have to go to somewhere else. Let's see. A chat says, Len, yep, up. Well, Manitoba got 40 cents added to their minimum wage. No apply that the food grocery rebate, no tax on their junk food. They're bailing now. Yikes. Your mic is still off. What? It can't be. Because, yeah. What? Hold on. All right. Give me a second here. My mic. Testing. I mean, it's showing. Everything's showing is on. All right. Is my mic off? Guys, let me know right now. I'm going to look on the test machine. So if my mic is off, guys, immediately throw that into chat. Or if it's on, if you can hear me. So can you hear me? Yes, no. Let's just get that into chat right away. Because, yeah, that would be a problem. Because everything here is, okay, I'm seeing a bunch. It's on. All right, okay. Oh, boy. You scared me, Elaine. Wait a minute. Elaine, was this April Fool's? Can I put it up to April Fool's? All right. Brian, okay, I am 100% deaf now. What? Sound? On mute from... Oh, this is when I was... Never mind. I caught up to when I had it muted. Because, yeah, here... I basically... Yeah, all right. I got it. Holy banana bread. Where are the subtitles? I couldn't hear your explanation. I can't see. Oh wait, I still can't do it. You're muted. I can rip lead. I can rip lead. Lip read some. Pete says, I was gifted a membership, but I am not interested in sharing my info. How do I decline the membership? I don't know if you can, but you don't have to share any info. There is a function, and you might have to Google to find out how to get there because I don't know how. But if you don't ever want to receive a gifted membership, there is a function where you can basically disable it on your YouTube account. And then you basically become ineligible to receive a membership. So, and just so you know, the way it works when somebody gifts a membership, it's the algorithm picks. Like nobody's picked you. It's just, I don't know if it's random, but it's kind of that thing. But yeah, none of your information actually gets, I don't know, shared or anything like that. Doorpat, let's see, the Anthropic data leak was a huge deal yesterday. An engineer mistakenly shared their source code, and so many people downloaded it before it was eventually deleted. Heard the guy was fired. Oh, okay, so this was from their end then. It wasn't from the government. Okay, thank God. Still, it sucks that they had that leak. But keep in mind, too, their data is being improved at a really fast rate. Like, I really do like Anthropic. I hate that what happened to them, because I think at one point, I was even thinking about switching from ChatGPT to Anthropic. But because of what happened with the US, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to go over there yet. I want to see if they can survive and see if they can get past the hurdles that the government has thrown at them. Wow, the sound of silence. Yep. You are muted for at least 4 minutes. I know. All right. For us Swedes, Fugelsang represents the classic era of space shuttle exploration. Want represents the modern commercial shift in spaceflight. Both remain key figures for the Swedish space industry and the Esrange Space Center in Kiruna. Ooh, nice. Drink the coffee without muting. I know. I really should switch back to just doing, or trying to. Here, I will try to drink it without making a sound. Tell me if I'm successful. Oh, it's the swallowing part. You might be able to hear the swallowing because this mic is very sensitive. All right, and Nightbot. Yeah, so we do have, we've got one in. So basically, we do have a show tomorrow no matter what. So either if we get 3 more, then we get to keep our banked show. Otherwise, we'll use the banked show tomorrow. But either way, we will be on the air tomorrow. Perlovia did very well on my well.t swing, but most admit was playing 25K shares at a time. Okay, yeah. If you buy a lot of something, you don't need it to go up much to have a pretty successful swing. That's for sure. Carney is a Red Party loyalist to China. I don't know if I'd go that far, but you know. Oh boy. Chad says, nice Paralovia. Can I borrow a few bucks to fill up the truck? All right. Sky says, if an ETF has 100% ROC, this would be best in a non-registered account, correct? If planning on not selling it. Yeah, I mean, it would be a great one for a non-registered. Now, when you say best, here's a caveat to that. If you don't have, like if your TFSA is almost, let's say you've only got it half full, well, at that point, nothing should be best for outside of your registered account. Just put it in your TFSA. But when you get to a point where your TFSA is full and you're kind of, space is at a premium, that would be a perfect one. That would be a perfect one to help be holding outside of your TFSA. Yeah, absolutely. Scott, let's see, no one can say anything bad about China in public because Xi is an even bigger sucky baby than Trump. Well, maybe. I don't know. Most tax efficient. Let's see. Scott, I heard the launch pad in Newfoundland was built upside down. Okay. Journey to the center of the earth, folks, maybe? I don't know. I think you're being funny, Scott. I think Scott's being funny. Return of capital lowers your base cost, so you need to track it for tax purposes on non-registered accounts. Launches COD. Oh boy. Um, the first building to go up on the moon, Trump Tower. That would be, yeah, that would be funny. Honestly, this is what I would be doing. If I was going to build a permanent settlement on the moon, I think the first thing I would build is I'd probably build something underground. And I'll tell you why. Because then you don't have to worry about space weather. You don't have to worry about if there was a coronal mass ejection from the sun, you don't have to worry about that. If you get a few feet underground, that's enough to protect you from that radiation. So you build that first. A small, it doesn't have to be big, but, at least I would build something like a livable area underground. Then you can start building it above ground, because then you've got a place that if there were some really bad space weather, just for safety's sake, people could, astronauts, people living on the moon, they could go to their safe space and, and be, not get cancer. Chad says, I think the Bank of Canada will raise REITs if fuel prices don't drop in the next week or so. It's a possibility. I don't know what the percentage is right now, what the analysts were predicting, but I had heard there was about a 40% chance of a rate hike the last time I heard, but since then, it might be higher. It might be closer to 50-50. Rory, I'd like to see an extra 25 points just for the GICs, but stocks fall, utilities dropped last time. Yeah, there would be some. Utilities will come down a little bit. REITs definitely. Let's see, 50 would be better. Brian says it's on. It's on. Your mic is. Oh, right, right. I was like, what's on? What's on? Now I know. Context. I'm slowly catching up. Good afternoon. I can hear you loud and clear. Ask is he would know how to disable it. Yes, absolutely. Ask Jeeves. Too old, like GeoCities. Yeah, GeoCities, Angel Fire. That was another one that you could do stuff on. Oh boy. I used it. One of the first big browsers that I used to use, like search engines. This was before Google. It was one called Dogpile. I don't think it exists anymore. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe it does. Let's find out. Dogpile. Oh, this may not be safe for work, but let's take a look. Oh no, it still exists. Yeah, the Dogpile search engine. Now, mind you, it's probably not as good as it used to be. But Dogpile, what it used to do back in the day is it would search through a bunch of search engines for you and then bring all the results together. So you'd be able to find things a little bit better. But then once Google came along, Google was so good that Dogpile just kind of disappeared. But yeah, there's Dogpile for you. Dave is not here. And okay, gotta watch up in smoke again. The people demand slurps. Classic. Squishies at the Quickie Mart. There we go. What type of account does everyone swing trade in RRSP/personal? So yeah, I mean, I do my, I think personal is the best place to go, but there's nothing wrong with doing it in your RRSP. Just keep in mind, though, that if you're swing trading in your RRSP, I mean, that money's going to stay there, because otherwise, if you pull it out, it is impacting your taxes, because it becomes 100% taxable when you pull it out. I mean, mind you, it's 100% taxable when you do it outside anyway. So it's kind of, other than, here's the one big difference. If you're swing trading in your personal account, yeah, it's 100%, it's considered business income, but you can take it without paying taxes now, so you'll end up paying taxes at tax time. Whereas if you're swing trading in your RRSP and you take it out, they're gonna have a withholding. They're gonna withhold a certain amount depending on how much you're taking out, and that will go to the CRA. And if you haven't made enough money or you get enough deductions, you'll get that back at tax time. But that might actually even be better, though, if you're somebody who can't keep track of your money and keep money enough aside to pay the taxes on it. So yeah, that could be effective. Rory says, I swing on a cash account only. Don't do it very often, though. And let's see. Chad says, yeah, I've been doing it in my RRSP. Kick the tax stand down the road. Got my T3 tax papers today. Ugh. Sweden's government temporarily lowered the food tax from the 1st of April from 12% to 6%, I think it was, to the end of the year. That's probably a good good thing. Who remembers Lycos? I remember Lycos. I do. Rory says I saw it. Always wondered, does anybody work in this chat like a job, or everyone just trades for a living? Good. No, I think there's, yeah. So yeah, some people have jobs. I think some people have jobs in here. I think. Yeah, guys, that's a good question. I know a few, and then there's a few who are retired. So yeah, because Lisa just recently retired. And Roy says, "What are you looking to replace your employees?" Yeah, Laura. Yeah, that's it. Larry's getting ready to recruit guys. He wants his Canadian version of his company for sure. Scott says retired. Yes, Samantha says I work a job. Yeah. So yeah, a job. There we go. Chad says trying to trade for a living, have 8 months to do nothing. Yeah. Well, why is it I think Chad works on a farm? I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I thought it was seasonal and it might have to do with farms, but I could be completely wrong. Brian. Yeah, Brian started my company today, far from retired at 66. Ah. And Lisa, yeah, yes, I retired end of 2024 after almost 31 years with Stellantis. And Dorpat, I am my full-time job right now, watching on my phone and doing my designs. Or, oh, you're at your full-time job right now. Oh, it's a brick. Oh, okay. No, I'm a refractory bricklayer. Why the heck did I think? I don't know why I was thinking that you worked on a farm. All right, a bricklayer. All right, there we go. Cool. There. So there we go. Yeah, people have jobs. Paul, semi-retired 3 years ago at 55, worked part-time. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, because Home Depot for Paul. Let's see, Chad, can't afford to farm 3-day-old heifer. They want like 1,800 crazy. Holy cow. There we go. Matthew was a Canadian nurse. Awesome job. My sister's a nurse. Bismarcky, working for 2 more years, might consider retirement. Okay, fair enough. Rory, semi-retired. Inheritance might change things. An inheritance is always a good thing, for sure. That's for sure. All right, so there we go. You know, everybody has some jobs. Everybody has jobs. That's kind of a good thing. Brian says, I've worked with a lot of refractory brick and installation guys building industrial heat treating furnaces. And yeah, Paul used to work at TELUS. 35 years. Holy cow. Niece, an old OCH, one of my Canadian friends shared a few years back, showed up. It's a photo with Trump and Trudeau, and Trump refusing to shake hands. And his chat bubble did say, last time I grabbed, yeah, last time I grabbed one of those, it made international news. Yeah. Well, there was that whole thing. The first time Trump and Trudeau met, Trump had this weird thing where he was trying to do this weird domination handshake thing. And, you know, as much, you know, whether you love or hate Trudeau, Trudeau did kind of best him on that. And, you know, and it was probably the most awkward thing ever, but it definitely annoyed Trump for sure. All right, and we got that. Let's see. Rory worked at CN Rail short lines. Now I do part-time maintenance. Brian, nice. What province? So an old photo. Nice to see everyone. Some people work as well. Yeah, absolutely. Just got a 2.3% raise in the part-time job. Nice. You've been working hard. Let's see. Been all 3 Canadian BC to Newfoundland. Through Ontario Park, thermal furnaces, and a lot of rebuilds of various brands. All right, awesome. All right, guys, we are really close to the end. If you got your last minute questions, get them in right now. You know, if you keep me talking, we'll go longer, but we're pretty darn close. And all right, I will unmute it this time. I promise. Oh, so good. There we go. All right, nice. Let's see. I've never been east of the peg. Really? Oh, it was actually funny. Now that you mentioned the peg, so they have that big show in the U.S. Called the Pit. So Noel Riley. Kind of an interesting. It's like real time. Um, I think it was this hour has 22 minutes. They did a version of it called the Peg. So it was a Winnipeg hospital, and basically all the doctors in that emergency room did is I guess the joke of the skit was they just referred everybody. You come in, you refer them to a specialist, and send them on their way. I thought it was kind of funny, but if they called it the Peg because it obviously Winnipeg, Quebec, beautiful if you like stonework. What are two of the best ETFs for the RRSP right now? Um, I mean, it depends on what your goals are, Claudia. So, well, first of all, actually, let me pull that back. It doesn't. I was going to say, because yeah, normally, there's differences if you're an income investor or if you are, a dividend growth investor, for example. So, but it does, excuse me, if it doesn't matter with the RRSP, this is the beautiful thing. So with RRSP, there's only one thing that matters: total return. Simple as that. So, even if you were an income investor, you don't want to put a high income ETF in your RRSP, when you could have put a higher total return, because although that income instantly just becomes, taxable as well as everything that it grows and gains. So maybe in the terms of diversification, you might have an ETF that has a lot of income on it, but it also has some growth. So that would be kind of ideal. The bigger the total return. So a lot of times with your RRSP, a lot of the bigger total returns, depending on what the market's doing, but a lot of them tend to be some of the simple ones. Things like VFV, for example, not a bad one to have. Or if you want the US version, there's VOO, and that's even better. I don't want to say it's even better than VFV, but it's even better because that one would have a US dividends, and they are not, the withholding tax don't get taken from them if they're in the RRSP. So that's what I would say. Look at big total returns. That's what you will want in your RRSP for sure. Chad says safe. Yeah, it's not a bad idea to have safe in here. Matthew says, can you talk about Xanadu quantum technology stocks? I don't know a lot, but I know a little. So, and I'm thinking, let me just, because I know that there was talk about Xanadu. Xanadu just made, they just IPO'd, I believe. One of the key points about Xanadu is that they can run chips at room temperature. That's huge. So that's absolutely huge. So Xanadu, and I need to do more research into them. I know, that's what I said. I know a little. I know about the room temperature, and if that is true, and if they can compete against some of the modern chips that run very hot and need a lot of cooling, what they're doing could be a game changer. Are they there yet? No, I don't think they are, but I think there is that possibility. So Xanadu is a very exciting. They're a very exciting prospect for sure. I like that idea because imagine, and we're also talking quantum as well. So just by the nature of quantum. So a quantum chip, so a regular chip, it's basically, it's a switch, right? It's on or off. Simple as that. Binary, 0 or 1. Well, a quantum chip, it doesn't use a bit or bits. That's what you would call, like a bit would be a 0 or 1 would be 1 bit. With a quantum, you use something called a qubit. So a qubit, it can exist as a 0, it can exist as a 1. It can exist any combination of partial 0 1s. So basically, it can even be 0 and 1 at the same time. So when you bring quantum mechanics into it, it basically means that chip can process a ton more than simple on-off. So quantum is going to absolutely transform the world. And I'm glad you brought up Xanadu, Matthew, because now it's like I really do want to grab a couple, at least a small handful of those shares for sure. So I think there is a potential that Xanadu could be interesting. And here's the thing. Odds are they'll probably get bought out. They'll probably get bought out by another big tech company. Google, for example, Google has their Willow chip, which is also a quantum chip. So I could see Xanadu being a perfect fit for Google. So they might buy them. Somebody might buy them down the road, especially if their technology, turns out to be the real deal. Yeah, there's definitely some really good opportunity, I think, with the Xanadu. Still, guys, don't just rush in. Do your own due diligence. I want to do more due diligence before I do, but the little bit I've heard has been exciting, but I need to see a bit more before I can make a full call on them. But yeah, Matthew, I think Xanadu is, I think it's got a lot of potential. Chad, SCHG, SCHY, SCHD, safer. Let's see, 80s campy exercise song starts playing. Let's see, normally I am a sparky electrician, but at work, because of COVID and something in my lungs. Oh, yikes. Well, hopefully your lungs are doing better. That's all I can say. Yeah, lungs are something you don't want to have. It's not nice if there's something wrong with your lungs. I had a clot once in a lung, and it wasn't fun. Rory, SCHD, I have an order but not filled, trying to get it under 30 USD. Rory, how long do your orders sit waiting to fill? All right, I don't think that was to me. Let's see, love SCHD. Paul, sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes a month. All right, and Chad says loaded up 90 shares of SCGH on the TEC dip in the green today. All right, and let's see here. Paul says, so in an RRSP, the VFV ETF tiny dividend still gets 15% IRS tax, or at least the dividend from the S&P 500 company's dividend going to VFV provider, then they pass on what is left over. So RRSP could be VOO. So yeah, that's a very good point. So VOO, because of the Canadian tax treaty, there's no withholding tax. But yeah, when you do hold VFV, there is a withholding tax that would hit Vanguard, depending on how they've got it set up. Now, a lot of times, these companies will have, a lot of times these companies aren't paying the full 15%. They have different ways of working out deals with the IRS. So it may not be a 15%. But yeah, technically VOO would be a little more pure. That Xanadu, USA or Canada? It is, I think it's Canada. I'm pretty sure. For some reason, I think it's Quebec. It might be Quebec. Well, here, let's take a look. Actually, you know what? We've got Google. Why not? Xanadu. All right, ZANADU. I'm just going to put chip. Quantum chip. There we go. This should pull it up here. So Xanadu right here, photonics. All right. Yep, this is what we're looking for. Let's just go into it. And let's see here. Normally, I know I'm in the middle. I'm blocked. Here, I'll just move me over to the side. There we go. Let's see here. Normally, we should have a contact information here. Let's see. Community. Codebook form, research blog. That's not what I'm looking for. Company. Let's go to company. Where the heck are you located, guys? About, careers, press, shop. All right, let's go to about. Oh, no, they're in Toronto. Okay. Well, I don't know why I was thinking Quebec, but yeah, there we go, Toronto. So founded in 2016. All right, so yeah, here we go. And let's actually see. All right, ZANAD. Let's see what the ticker is for this here. Here it is here, XNDU. So sitting right here, 1046 right now. And it looks like, yeah, you know what, this is a normal thing. A lot of times you get this huge pipe, a whole bunch of interest. But yeah, once it sort of settles down, that's where I want to get in. but I do think that there is some potential with this company. Let's see, I think the historic location of Xanadu was Mongolia. Oh boy. I'm just going by the Rush song. Yeah, but the USA stock or Canada stock, it might trade both markets. Is it? It might be. I don't know. Like I said, do you own Palantir? What do you think about it at this price? I don't personally own Palantir. But, here's the thing. I think there is potential for it, just because even if the war ends, like you'll probably get it, it'll probably pull back a bit, but there's so much pressure on, well, especially on the NATO commitments. Now, however, and this could be the wild card, Mr. Bull. If Trump pulls out of NATO, that 5% GDP target might disappear as well. If that's the case, we'll have to see how that looks. I hope he doesn't do it. I would not want to see that, but maybe some of you might want to see it. But yeah. All right. Scott says any Palantir is a pal of mine. Oh boy, that's pretty bad. All right, guys. We have gone past. We're into overtime, but that's fine. Once again, this was a fantastic show. You guys were awesome. We had a good time. We will be back here tomorrow. We're gonna do this all over again. And yeah, what you're saying here, Trump can't pull out of NATO with I'm pretty sure he can't do it without Congress. He might try, but we'll see how that all works out. But maybe we'll get more information from his speech tonight. In the meantime, guys, we will be back here tomorrow. We'll do this all over again. I can't wait. Until then, enjoy the rest of your evening. And if you're watching the space launch, go Canada, go. Let's head to the moon. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Before I go, I have I've got two last little things I wanted to say, and you guys know what I'm going to say. Bye-bye.